Good morning. Can you feel the excitement in the air? This is such a beautiful day. And not just because the sun is shining, not just because the clouds have cleared and the temperature is absolutely perfect. It's a beautiful day because it is the dawning of a new day in West Louisville. It is indeed. It is a beginning of a new opportunity for one of the most underserved communities in the state of Kentucky. And we are here to celebrate that, and we are so thankful that all of you have joined us today. We've got, in addition to breaking ground, which is a significant part of what we will experience today, there's a lot of information that is developing with this project that we want to make sure we use this opportunity to share with you today. So we are so very thankful that you're all here with us today. My name is Devon Holt. I am the Chief External Affairs Officer for Goodwill Industries of Kentucky. And this is an important day for me. Many of you heard it before as we announced this project in February, but I am a resident, longtime resident of West Louisville. And so to be connected to this project professionally, but also have it touch me in a personal way in the community where I live and where I've served as a champion is significant, to say the least. It's also important because we didn't get here by accident today. It took a lot of intentional work to lead us to a place where we are ready to begin work on a $100+ million development project on the corner of 28th and Broadway. I want to make sure that you guys understand the nuances and the work that's led us to this place today, the purpose behind this move, and the expectations that we have in making this move to West Louisville. And the best help you understand all of that is our CEO, Amy Luttrell with Goodwill Industries of Kentucky. Amy?
This is a wonderful crowd. We were all had our socks blown off when we had the press conference back in February to announce this partnership with Norton Healthcare. But I think, if anything, this is an even bigger crowd than that. So we are so appreciative to all of you for coming out here to help us celebrate this milestone in West Louisville and in Goodwill and Norton Healthcare's history. So you can't really see this whole plot of land from in here because we've got these walls up. But when you go out of this tent, just take a minute and look all the way up to Broadway, all the way over here to the tree line, and over here to the street. This is a huge piece of property, but that is a plus, not a minus, because gradually we're going to fill this property up with resources that West Louisville and all of Louisville need. So that is a big plus, 20 acres. I want to thank our elected officials, people from the Parkland community and surrounding neighborhoods, our staff and board from both organizations, and all the friends and well-wishers that we have here today, our community partners, for coming out to celebrate with us. You know, I've said this before, but I have to say it again. We decided to call this an opportunity campus because the word opportunity means that conditions are right for success. And we see a lot of people who have never in their lives had conditions that were very favorable for their success. And when those conditions are favorable, we see them do great things. And that's exactly what we're going to do on this 20+ acre site together. We're going to bring the right resources to this campus to absolutely knock down the barriers that have held people back during their lives. So look out till you see what they can do. This combination of Goodwill and Norton Healthcare and the other community partners who are going to be on this site is powerful. At Goodwill, we believe, you hear a lot of talk about the social determinants of health, and we believe that poverty is the primary social determinant of health. If you are poor, it is very difficult for you to be healthy. So what we're going to have here, we're going to have Norton Healthcare providing convenient access to all kinds of health services that Russ is going to talk about. We're going to have Goodwill and our community partners bringing the resources that people need to be able to escape poverty. So that is just going to be a powerful combination. So if you're confused, let me take just a minute about, we call this the Opportunity Campus. We're going to call we also talk about the Opportunity Center. So I just want to explain what that is. The 120,000-foot building that will be up on the corner of 28th and Broadway will be our Opportunity Center. And the whole campus, the 20-plus acres with Goodwill's building, Norton Healthcare's building, and future buildings, all together is going to be the Opportunity Center. And not just the Opportunity Center, but the Norton Healthcare Goodwill Opportunity Center. That's the name of our campus. So let me tell you who's going to be a part of this campus, in addition to Goodwill and Norton Healthcare, because we've got a great group of partners who are actually going to have dedicated space in our building. We're going to have Kentuckiana Works. They are bringing their comprehensive career center to our building. We're just thrilled about that because they have resources we don't have. We have resources they don't have. And together we're going to get some great synergies. So we are so happy about that. We're going to have the YMCA here, providing drop-in childcare. If you come in, yes. If you come in with young children and you need to meet with your career coach, you need to take a class and not be distracted by having to care for your children, the Y is going to do that for you so you can concentrate. So that's going to be a great part of this campus. Legal aid is such a strong partner for us because we see a lot of people who have lots of legal needs. And so legal aid is going to bring a variety of legal services here to this campus. Park Community Credit Union is coming. They're going to provide second chance banking. We have a lot of people who are not banked. Yeah. We want them to be banked, and then Park Community is going to help us also with financial literacy so that when people get some money, they know how to manage it, because that is a big problem for most of us, really, if we're honest about it. Big Brothers Big Sisters is coming to provide youth mentoring. Big Brothers Big Sisters starts, yes. They start younger than we do, so it's kind of a continuum, but it's also many of the same families. So we are thrilled to have Big Brothers Big Sisters come and be a part of our campus. We're going to have the Kentucky College of Barbering to provide haircuts. We got a lot of people who can use a haircut, and maybe some of you might like to come to our campus and get a haircut once we're open. Please do that. U of L College of Dentistry is coming to bring a dental clinic. Dental health is so important to physical health, and it's also so important to a person's confidence. We've seen that over and over. So we really wanted to have that as a part of our campus. Volunteers of America is bringing their restorative justice services and some others of their services. That's a great fit for this campus. But in addition to all these partners who are going to have dedicated space, we have a number of other partners who will come into this campus on a regular scheduled basis. We have some mental health partners who will be here every day because those are also services that our people can benefit from. So this is going to be quite the hub of activity. And together, we are going to surround every person who comes in our door with a community of support, and we are going to surround them with people who care personally about their success. But we also want to invite the whole community to come into this building. We hope that you will come and eat at the cafe that's a part of our building. We hope that you'll come and hold a community meeting in one of our community rooms. Or like I mentioned, you could come and get a haircut. There's all kinds of things that you might access if you come to this building. So we truly want this to be a community asset that has something for everybody. We did a lot of outreach, and Devon headed that up with the community to find out what West Louisville felt they most needed and wanted. We couldn't check all of those boxes. Not everything's in our wheelhouse, but we did as much as we could. So there will be something for all of you, I think. I just want to share a few additional facts about who's helping us with this project and give a few recognitions. Goodwill has engaged Studio A LLC as architect for this building, and they are almost finished with the design. That's how close we are. We have engaged Calhoun Construction Services as our construction manager, and along with them comes Mathis Construction to help make sure that we exceed our goals for involvement of minority contractors and minority workforce in this project. Yeah. And then we've also engaged Brown Engineering and Construction Services as our owner's rep. And all of these partners are, we're on kind of a rapid timeline here in case you didn't know that. However long people are telling us it takes, we're saying, okay, we got to move faster. And all of these partners have been wonderful at keeping on that track. We have several reasons we want to do that, not least of which is that we know that West Louisville has been disappointed too often, and we don't want this to take 5 years, so you wonder if it's ever going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah. We're going to have control of this building in late 2023. So less than 18 months, and then we'll move in, and you'll see all that activity begin. I also want to recognize a few members of the internal Goodwill team who have helped us keep with that rapid timeline, kept our feet to the fire, and are going to get us to the finish line. And I don't know where you are because there's a lot of people here, but Josh Hewlett is our senior project manager, so this is Josh's project. And he is very good at keeping us on track. John Barnett is our director of property and facilities. So John was integral to the purchase process, the due diligence, some of the demolition that we've done so far, all of that work. Devon Holt, who needs no introduction. So Devon headed up the community outreach, and also he and I are in charge of going out and finding some additional resources to help us pay for this campus. Mark Homan, our Chief Financial Officer, and Andrew Wise, who is our Director of Accounting and Finance, they have worked together, and we have some of our partners here for the New Markets Tax Credit. A lot of work, but going to contribute significant dollars to this project. And we need all of that because this is a big, expensive project. So our thanks to Mark and Andrew. And Rena Sharp, our Chief Operating Officer, has been the point person for all these partnerships and getting the right ones and working along with them to get us where we are today. It's always a risk when you try to recognize a few people because you're probably going to leave somebody out. And whoever you are that I've left out, I do apologize because I know we've had a lot of people who have been involved in this. But I just did want to recognize those people for the extra efforts that they've made. Would you help me thank them, please? Let me give you some numbers for this campus. This Opportunity Campus is going to bring more than 200 permanent jobs to West Louisville at an average wage of $59,000. Together, we're going to be serving about 50,000 people every year in various ways, and we will assist 600 people every year to go into full-time jobs here in the Louisville area. The actual construction of the facility is going to bring from 200 to 400 additional jobs, and when you take all of that together, the cumulative economic impact every year is almost $19 million. This campus is going to be something that all of us in Louisville, West Louisville, and all of Kentucky can be proud of. So I just want to wrap up by saying that in future years, when this all becomes a reality and you drive past this facility, or you come in and eat at our cafe or hold a business meeting here or meet with a career coach, I just want you to remember that you were all here today when it all began. Thank you. Our next speaker is Russell Cox, President and CEO of Norton Healthcare. You know, in planning this campus, we always hoped and believed that the investment that we were going to be making in West Louisville would serve as a catalyst for more investment. And what a way to start. This is a great start, isn't it? Russ is going to speak to Norton Healthcare's future physical presence on this site, but you've noticed that this campus is not called the Goodwill Opportunity Campus. It's called the Norton Healthcare Goodwill Opportunity Campus, so learn how to say that. I just want to take a minute to recognize and thank Norton publicly, not only for the hospital project that they're going to be building on this site, but also for the support that they are giving toward the cost of our facility. They purchased land from us for their facility, and that, in addition to a gift that makes them the naming sponsor for this campus, amounts to a total of $7 million that go toward the cost. Yes. And beyond that, our two organizations are holding lots of conversations. We've got committees and all, just to make sure that we don't end up just being neighbors, but that we continue to build on this partnership in more ways that are going to bring value back to the community. And I think we're going to come up with some good ones. So Goodwill is so grateful to have such a strong partner like Norton to walk together with us as we bring this project to fruition. So please help me thank Norton Healthcare, our partner.
Renee Murphy, where are you? She's somewhere here. Where are you, Renee? Renee Murphy, Senior Vice President, Marketing, Chief Communications, Norton Healthcare. Renee gave me one job today. Weather. What do you think? Huh? You can do better than that. We could be in 105. Thank you so much for being here. There's so much emotion in my heart. And, you know, at a time when we all feel as though there's so much polarity, so much disagreement, let's just for a moment today, let's embrace something on which we can all agree, okay? And you can applaud here, all right? Let's forget all that other stuff. Okay, here's something. We can agree that 150 years is far too many years since the last hospital was built west of 9th Street. We can also agree that we wondered if this day would ever become reality. Well, guess what? It's here. This is a day that we've been looking forward to for so long. We go back to February. It's hard to believe that we're here. And as Amy said, we want so badly to run so quickly to get where we all need this community to be. And thank you to Goodwill for being a champion. And really, everything they do is about transforming lives of others, and that's why our organizations work so well together. That's what we're about. I want to also thank so many who are here today supporting this endeavor and investment in West Louisville. We obviously appreciate Governor Andy Beshear, with whom we've worked closely with over the last few years, when we face some really difficult times in healthcare. This project signals his commitment and his administration's commitment to health equity in our state. So thank you so much. I also know that health equity has been important to so many people and organizations who've already been providing great care for West Louisville for so many years. The federally qualified health centers and the independent providers have absolutely been trailblazers in providing access and quality care. I want to thank them for all that they've done and will continue to do, and we look forward to collaborating with you to make this even better. So please give them a round of applause as well. You know, I've always believed that good things become great things when you partner with others who have common goals. We're so fortunate to have the Louisville Urban League, St. Stephen's, Bates Memorial, Simmons College of Kentucky, the YMCA. I shake my head at the wonderful partners that we have and how much they have committed to where we are today. I will tell you, I had meetings with both Dr. Cosby, Dr. Williams, and I said, we're going to build a hospital at 28th and Broadway. And they both looked at me and said, you are not. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Amy did a better job of staying on script than I will. Today is so important in Louisville, Kentucky, that I think it's important that we get a picture of the two gentlemen who probably are going to be on the Mount Everest of health equity in Louisville, Kentucky. So I'm going to ask Dr. Williams and Dr. Cosby if you'd come to this podium. I'm going to ask Governor Beshear to join them. Thank you, Glenn. So while I'm standing up here today, there are two more people who I've got to mention. I'd like to take credit for this hospital being totally my idea, but that would be disingenuous. In 2017, shortly after I'd taken on the role of CEO of Norton Healthcare, I was approached by two women with a very big dream. They caught me at an all-employee event when I stepped out of the main venue for what we like to call a quick break. They came to me and waited outside the room where I was taking the quick break to catch me as I came out. And they came to me with an idea for an event that is now known as the Unity Jam. It's one of the largest community events as families prepare for back to school and all the community events that we try to do. And we're going to be holding that Unity Jam this year on July 30th at the Shawnee Boys and Girls Club. Just a quick commercial there. What you need to know, though, is after their pitch to me that day, they ended it by saying, and we need to have a hospital in West Louisville. They emailed me their proposal after our in-person encounter, and the last line of that message read, a short-term goal for this Unity Jam would be to provide monthly or quarterly screenings for the community. The long-term goal is to establish an employed physician practice, immediate care center, and ultimately a Norton Hospital campus in the area to promote clinical integration. So, to Corinza and Kirsty, who caught me that day all those years ago, never mind, at that employee event, I'm happy to tell you, yes, it's happening. We're building a hospital in West Louisville. Corinza, where are you? Corinza, wave your hands high, just like you did that day trying to run me down. So the lesson to be learned here is that oftentimes the best and most aspirational ideas come from your most passionate employees. So Corinza and Kirsty, thank you for your friendship, but most of all, thanks for the passion that pushed us to get where we are today. So the first hospital to be built west of 9th Street in more than 150 years is going to be more innovative and more progressive than any facility we've ever built at Norton Healthcare. Building a new old hospital would be irresponsible of us. And if we want to change the paradigm around care and access, we've got to do things differently. So we're going to take a different approach to healthcare that we believe could be a model for care across our country moving forward. The hospital that will be called, and yes, this is what it will be called, Norton West Louisville Hospital. That looks great. That looks great. It will be a state-of-the-art facility with leading experts to help with prevention, early intervention, and specialty care. Anyone who gets into healthcare believes in the mission of helping people live healthier lives is what we should all be about. We're no different. But having specialty services such as women's health services, cardiology, orthopedic care, endocrinology, and other services available at 28th and Broadway, we can all begin to move the needle and see improvement in health outcomes. No longer do we want to see a life expectancy that's 10 years less for those living in West Louisville than residents in other parts of the county. Yeah, let's clap for that. No longer do we want to see more lives lost to chronic illness in neighborhoods west of 9th Street. Our goal is to have fewer patients admitted to the hospital by providing more preventative care. Based on the research we have, there could be up to 15 patients that need to be admitted to the hospital from West Louisville at any given time. We're going to have 20 beds at this location, but hear it from me. If there's a need for more, we can and will expand. But our vision should include a future with less admissions, stronger, more trusting relationships with providers, and a renewed hope for a healthy future. Now, in addition to inpatient beds, the hospital is going to operate a 24-hour emergency department, operating rooms, and outpatient procedures. There's going to be care for all who need care at this location, and all will be welcome. Please, if you're taking notes and no one is, but if you were, write this one down. Our measure of success at Norton West Louisville Hospital won't be calculated with a dollar sign involved. This new and different hospital will have a much higher measure of success, a higher level of trust that leads to better health outcomes for our community, and collaborations that not only make that happen today, but sustain it for the next 150 years. Our legacy should be remembering that on this beautiful day, of which I was responsible, in 2022, together, we turned the page on health equity right here at 28th and Broadway. This is the real opportunity and how we should measure success.
You know, you all are at a disadvantage because you are looking this way, but I see out into a great crowd of people who are here today to support a transformational project. I'm going to ask a question. If you traveled from out of state to be here today, raise your hand, please. I see several of those. If you work for Norton Healthcare or Goodwill Industries of Kentucky, raise your hand, please. If you live in West Louisville, raise your hand. You know, all my life, I've heard in this community us talk about the 9th Street divide. Today, I want you to look to your left, look to your right, look in front of you, look behind you, and you'll see the solution to the 9th Street divide. We've come together today to celebrate something that I think will break down barriers, but it's not a building that will do that. It is individuals who help make that happen. And the barriers that need to be broken are not just ones that exist here in this community. You know, we are so very fortunate to have a governor in Frankfort who prioritizes projects like this one in this community. He's been a great champion for us in the work that we've done. He's been on board from this project from day one and has done nothing but ask how he can support it. And so today he's here to support it with his presence, and I want you all to help me welcome him to the podium today, our Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Andy Beshear.
Thank you all. Thanks. Thank y'all. That is really good for my self-esteem. I appreciate it. Thank you, Devon, for that warm introduction, and what a great day. And don't we all deserve a great day? I mean, you think about what we have gone through together these last 2+ years. You think about what this community has gone through for much longer than that. What a great day for West Louisville. And there are going to be a series of great days just related to this project. It was a great day when we were able to announce it. It's a great day to be here to break ground. It's going to be a great day when those hundreds of construction jobs, meeting every promise that's been made, descend on these acres. It's going to be a great day when these two great partners start permanent hiring for what's going to exist right here. It's going to be a great day when we see the first patient, when we provide the first set of career counseling, when that first parent can drop off their child at quality childcare right here. Those are all going to be really great days. But I tell you what, this community deserves more great days and more great projects. I mean, we are here celebrating a $100 million project, though I guarantee you with inflation it's probably $115 million by now. 200+ permanent jobs, paying almost $60,000. My commitment as governor is this is not going to be the only time we announce a project of this size in this area. But what a step of Goodwill and of Norton Healthcare coming together, a couple of longtime top-tier Team Kentucky partners. They are leaders in their respective fields, and they're providing job services and healthcare for people all across Louisville. But they're going to have a central hub right here. Seeing these two outstanding organizations join together, but to not do it alone. To have reached out to the community, recognizing the anchors that have been here fighting for justice and what's right and a better future for so long. Making sure that inclusion is not just something that they are talking about, but the way they've gone about this project. Hopefully makes this a model for projects to come. I keep thinking about all the different services that are going to be provided. Everything from Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Kentuckiana Works, Volunteers of America, the YMCA, the Legal Aid Society, the Kentucky College of Barbering, the University of Louisville School of Dentistry, and so many more. About one place you can come and get so many of the services that might take you 2 or 3 bus trips otherwise to get to. Nobody should ever have to take multiple bus trips to get health care here or anywhere else. As you all might know, health care is pretty important to me and to my family. I remember when that other Governor Beshear, the second best governor with the last name Beshear, didn't push back but embraced the Affordable Care Act, expanded Medicaid in this state, set us on a path that would give us better outcomes to a pandemic that they never knew was in front of us. How we've worked so hard to change the economics that kept for so long a facility like this being built in so many areas across Kentucky. And here today, we're talking about the first hospital in West Louisville in about 150 years. That is incredible. And did you see the picture? Not just the first hospital here in 150 years, but what's going to be the most sophisticated, newest operation that Norton's has built right here. And you look at the wraparound services that this is going to provide, the fact that this plus the government center we have not far away, the NIA Center, is going to be not 200 but more like 300 jobs in just several blocks, what it can potentially do beyond just here. And in the surroundings, I think it's going to be really special. How about 200 jobs that average $59,000? And I'm sure since we've announced that, that's probably more like $65,000. But you know what? Paying people what they're worth isn't a bad thing. It's the right thing to do. 50,000 people every year are going to be served by this campuses with programs and services that enhance their lives and careers, an economic impact every year of over $18.7 million, helping more than 600 people get full, secure, good employment every year. But I tell you what, the Commonwealth of Kentucky is going to work as hard as we can to beat that number every single year, to provide that better life for our families, and to make sure that every family in this neighborhood and around Kentucky knows where their next meal is coming from and can provide a better life to their kids and grandkids than maybe they thought was possible. Today is also, it's a pretty special day for me. You know, you have a lot of moments as governor where you get to do groundbreaking. This one is really special because, you see, we've been on a roll in Kentucky. One where for the first time in my lifetime, people are picking us here over everybody else. We're coming off a year, even though we were in a pandemic last year where we didn't break, we shattered every economic development record in the books, and it wasn't close. You know, on every year, we'd average about $5.5 billion in new investment. Last year, we had a record $11.2 billion in new private sector investment. And in an average year, we create about 7,500 new jobs. On a great year, 9,000 new jobs. Last year, a record 18,000 new jobs at the second highest wage we've ever announced. And that's why I've said before, I believe that we are not just hopefully leaving a difficult, dark, historic moment that was COVID, that I really hope we're walking into a big, bright, optimistic, historic moment about what can happen in Kentucky's economy, a chance for us to not just leapfrog 10 other states' economies, but to be a top 10 state economy. As I look at everything is in front of us, this is the best chance we've ever had, which means we have to get this historic moment right. In too many historic moments, the same places and the same people are left out. And so as part of this record-breaking economic development, to announce a $100 million investment right here doesn't just feel good. It's the right thing for this Commonwealth. But as I think about other announcements we've made, that Ford announcement, I mean, my goodness, in the last 16 months, in the last 9 months, Kentucky has become the electric vehicle production capital of the United States of America. That's us right here in Kentucky. I think about the effort that we had to put in over decades to make that happen. So I know the effort we're talking about today is more than just this campus. It's the record investments we are seeing in Simmons College. And Simmons College is an incredibly important part of this Commonwealth. To truly seize this moment, and I'm not talking about just as Louisville, but as a state, to meet the obligations we are making to these companies creating tens of thousands of jobs, we must have a strong Simmons College and continue to invest in it. It's all the efforts that so many of you are making in JCPS, knowing that the right thing is to make more investments in JCPS and not to take their funding away. And it's why we launched, and while it's in its infancy, the Everybody Counts program, an ambitious dream where every single graduating senior from JCPS is either placed in higher education with the help of Evolve 502 with the dollars they need, or we have them signed up for a good paying job before they graduate from high school. The fact that we put value in every single Kentucky child, every single graduating senior here in Louisville, and we don't let a single person fall through the cracks. And if we can do that with the investments we're making here today, truly prioritizing the health, the employment, the education, and the opportunity for all Kentuckians, then we can reach that limitless potential that is in front of us. And I've got to thank a lot of people in this room. You know, I'd start by saying I wouldn't be governor without the efforts of so many of you. So I'm not sure whether to say thank you or why didn't you tell me what I was getting into? But so many of you have not just been there to help get us started, but been there every single step of the way. Whether that was restoring voting rights to now over 200,000 Kentuckians that can participate in our great democracy. Whether it was removing a hurtful statute from our rotunda so that every child feels valued. Or whether it's the continued investments that we need to make and that I hear what I need to hear. I look forward to continuing to work with each and every one of you. You know, in this historic moment, when we have a jobs market that desperately needs workers, we have a better chance than ever to truly lift everybody up. More opportunity out there than maybe ever before. And think about it. If we can become a top 10 state economy while doing it right, while getting a historic moment right, while including everyone and not excluding anyone, think about what else will be possible here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you all very much.
You know, we do have a great number of esteemed guests who are here with us today. We have several who unfortunately couldn't attend. Congressman John Yarmouth couldn't be here with us today, but we want to acknowledge him for the leadership that he's provided. Also, we have, unfortunately, unable to attend today is our Mayor Greg Fisher, but he does come by way of recorded video message.
Hello, everybody. I am honored to be a part of this historic day, and I'm sorry I can't be with you all in person. The Opportunity Campus is a real beacon of hope throughout West Louisville and a major investment to address one of our city's long-standing challenges, the fact that talent is equally distributed throughout our community, but opportunity, it's not. Addressing this disparity, tragically built up over generations, has been a focus of my administration since I took office in early 2011, and it will continue to be until my last day as mayor and for me personally thereafter. We've made progress, I'm thankful to say, in line with my early vow to help bring unprecedented investment to West Louisville, from the $200 million investment and transformation of Beecher Terrace to the Republic Bank YMCA to the Norton Healthcare Sports and Learning Center. In each of those examples, and there are many others, intentionality, compassion, and partnership help turn concepts into reality. And that's certainly the case here. The partnership between Goodwill Industries of Kentucky and Norton Healthcare and others, including our very own Kentuckiana Works, is a shining example of the awe-inspiring transformation that can happen when we work together. Goodwill and Norton are great leaders in our community, and soon the result of their leadership will help improve countless lives with a concentration of resources and removal of barriers for people who've been stymied for gross inequities and disparities for much too long. So I say great job, everybody, and I can't wait to see this Opportunity Campus in person. Thank you.
Next, I want to invite the president of Metro Council, David James, to say a few words this morning.
Well, hello, everybody. This used to be my district, and then we redistricted it, and I lost it to Jacori. I just want to say thank you to everybody for making this day come true. About 2 years ago, Amy and Devon contacted me and said, "Hey, we want to talk to you about something." And I went over and met with them. And they started telling me about their ideas and their thoughts, and I was thinking, maybe. And so, but as time went on, it started coming together, and everybody was talking about it, and I thought, this is really going to happen. And I remember telling Devon, I think this is going to be the thing that makes West Louisville change. It will be the thing that we're all going to look back on one day and say, do you remember that day when that thing happened at 28th and Broadway? And we're going to go, yeah. Because when I think about it, my grandparents grew up just about 300 feet that way, 31st Street. And so I spent a great deal of time sneaking out of the yard, trying to sneak over here to this property and I get in trouble all the time. So I'm very familiar with what this has been, and to think about what it's going to be and what it's going to be to the people that live in West Louisville and how it's going to change and affect their lives and affect their ability to have access to health and jobs and all of those opportunities that are going to be here at the Opportunity Zone just touches my heart in a special way. And I want to thank everybody that helped to make this day come true. Thank you very much.
Also representing this district in Frankfort is State Representative Katura Herring. There she is. There she is.
Thank you all. A few years ago, I had a chance to speak at Central High School, and we were there. We were talking to the young people about violence, and we were talking about community violence and interpersonal violence. And one young lady raised her hand and said, "What about structural violence?" And I said, "Well, tell us more." And she started talking about this very piece of property that we're sitting on. She also talked about the property at 18th and Broadway. She also talked about the other abandoned buildings that she saw every day as she went to school. And so to that young lady and to the other residents of the West End, today is a day that we can start healing. We can start having some reconciliation. But this is only the beginning. We have so much work to do. But I believe deeply that as long as we continue to develop the West End and give it the resources and the things that it needs, that we are going to be okay. As I have listened and heard the different folks speak, one thing that I did not hear enough of is what is the plan for a long-time recovery. We know that people say that black folks were not impacted by the opioid epidemic, and that is not a true story. We also know that there is a lot of funds that will be coming to our state and our city to help with the opioid epidemic, and I hope that the partners ensure and make sure that on this very campus we have resources to make sure that the residents of the West End are able to heal from the opioid epidemic. And so I want to thank Norton's, I thank Goodwill and all of the other partners, and I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Devon Holt for all of your hard work and dedication to have someone who grew up in the West End, from the West End, to lead this project is so important. So thank you, Devon, and make sure you all love on him. Thank you.
I love it. Love on me. You heard that, right? All right. Next, we want to invite the State Senate Majority Leader. Did I say that? I'll take the promotion. I said that wrong, but he is running for Congress and is joining us in his role as State Senator to join us today, Morgan McGarvey.
Devon, you did fine, but Governor, don't you wish it was the majority leader? That's right. Thank you all very much. This is such an exciting day. West Louisville's getting a hospital. I still have a lot to learn, but I've learned two things about being public speaking while being in office. Number one, don't stand in the way of a meal or a celebration. Number two, don't take credit for things other people did. Today is such an exciting day, and so many people in this community, whether it's Dr. Williams, Dr. Cosby, I'm looking out here, the governor, the state, the city, the community partnership, so many people made this happen. But we've got to give special thanks to Amy, to Devon, to the team at Goodwill, to Russ, to Dr. McCants, to Renee, to Riggs, to the team at Norton Hospital for bringing your organizations together within and then bringing your organizations together to make this dream a reality. Because this shows us what is possible. You showed us at a time when access to health care is more important than ever, that equity isn't just a corporate buzzword. You showed us not just your compassion and your vision, but the execution, the determination, and the commitment to actually make this possible, to prove to everyone that it's your genetic code, not your zip code, that determine your life expectancy. So thank you to everyone who made this possible, and I just join you in the celebration.
You know, when the pandemic began, we at Goodwill recognized the despair that started to set in around the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And we at Goodwill operate with a spirit of hope in all that we do. And that hope is embraced by an acronym that Dr. Cosby shared with me years ago, having only positive expectations, hope. And when we saw that despair, it became important for us to send a message to provide hope for people who were looking for a way out of the experience that we were all enduring. And we started a hashtag, and it was a simple hashtag, but it said, "Good will come." Good will come. Well, as I look around this space today and look at what we're celebrating, we have come a long way since the beginning of the pandemic. And as we prepare to exit this tent on both the left and the right and celebrate a new dawning of a new day in West Louisville, I want to consider that new hashtag that we might consider for West Louisville, and that is, good is here. It's here.